to my channel. I'm Cassandra, owner of Honest Haven, and today, just like I did on my previous video, I'm actually going to teach the same sequence again. I watched it back and I've actually forgot a part that's in my section for my group. So as you guys are learning, the best way for me to learn is to film it and hear myself and see what it sounds like. And so I'm going to do the warm-up sequence again, and so we will go through a 23-minute warm-up sequence, and I am really hoping that my dogs behave. And so I will just preface now that I thank you for being patient with me and the dogs. It is a bit chillier here than yesterday, so they don't want to be outside by themselves. So let's begin. I am so glad that you guys are here and that you're willing to take the time out of your day to do a little mindful practice for yourself. It is one of the hardest things to do is to show up. And so just by showing up, you have already done the hardest part. And so I thank you for taking the time to take care of yourself. Today's practice will focus on heart opening. Our hearts radiate 9 feet in front of our bodies. So when you're feeling alone or when you're, I tend to feel this sort of disconnected and that I'm not connected with others, and I like to think of that. So when I go to the grocery store, or I'm in my car, or I go for a walk, I'm connected. You're connected to everything. 9 feet in front of you is quite a big distance. So you're connected to the earth, you're connected to trees, you're connected to animals, you're connected to other humans. So we always have connection. So today I just want you to notice how you're feeling throughout practice. Bring your hands over your heart and take a deep breath. Noticing your breath, no need to change it, just noticing it. Notice how you're feeling. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Noticing all of these things without judgment. Just notice. Begin to bring awareness to your breath. Either draw your eyes closed or with a soft gaze. Take an inhale through your nose and let it out through your mouth. And again, in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more just like that, in through your nose, out through your mouth. This time, draw your breath in through your nose and let it out through your nose. Try to create a constriction in the back of your throat if it's comfortable. This will begin to make your breath sound like ocean waves. This is the Ujjayi pranayama breath. The breath of life, the breath of energy, the breath of connection. Bringing awareness to your breath, notice how that makes your body feel. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. With each inhale, attempt to breathe in longer. And with each exhale, attempt to breathe out longer. We'll be here for several rounds of breath, so take them at your own pace, at your own breath, at your own speed. Continuing just to notice the rise and fall of your chest, the beat of your heart, the rhythm of your own breath, the connection you feel or don't feel in this room. There are no right or wrong answers. All there is noticing, awareness. With your eyes either closed or at a soft gaze, release your hands to your knees. Take an inhale through your nose and an open mouth exhale. Inhale, lift your arms towards the ceiling. Press your palms together and draw them down to your heart at an exhale. Inhale, raise your arms up overhead. Exhale, draw them down to your heart. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, down to your heart. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. On your exhale, drop your palm or forearm to the ground, extending your left hand up over your head and leaning towards the right for a left side body stretch. No need to go too deep here, as this is the first real movements we've done today. Remembering to breathe into sensation, remembering to notice your breath and where you are. Shanti, be nice. Notice your breath and how it makes each muscle move. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, release your left palm or forearm to the ground, extending your right arm overhead and towards the left side of the room for a right side body stretch. Notice if you feel different here. Notice if it's tighter on this side than the other. Notice if there's no difference at all. Just noticing. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, draw your palms down to your heart. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, once again, drop your right arm, palm or forearm to the ground, extending your left arm overhead and leaning towards the right for the left side body stretch. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, drop your left palm or forearm to the ground, reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling and bending towards the left side of the room for a right side body stretch. Inhale up to center. Exhale, draw your palms down to your heart. Releasing your palms down to your knees. On an inhale, draw your chest between your arms up towards the ceiling, lifting your head towards the ceiling if it's comfortable on your neck for a seated cow pose. Exhale, round your chin towards your belly button for a seated cat pose. Inhale, lifting your chest and head up towards the ceiling, cow. Inhale, round your chin towards your chest, cat. The next few rounds are yours. Breathing in for your cow and exhaling out for cat. Adding in any additional movements that feel necessary to your body at this time. Maybe that's adding in some circles of the neck. Maybe that's just swaying from side to side. Or maybe that's making gigantic circles with your upper torso. This practice is for you. Please get out of it what you need. On an inhale, bring yourself up and through your chest for a seated cow. And exhale, round to cat. On your inhale, come forward to neutral. Roll over your knees, spreading your legs to mat width distance apart, placing your big toes to touch flat on the mat, and sitting back on your heels. Extending your torso in between your legs and bringing your arms out in front of you. This is child's pose. You can either rest your forehead, chin, or chest on the mat. This is where you can come at any point in class. This is your resting position. This is always available to you. Breathing into the space, breathing into your body. Inhale, bend at the elbows, bring your palms to touch, and place them up over your head and on the back of your neck. Using your hands as leverage and your elbows rooted firmly into the ground, press a little further, attempting to get your armpits to touch the mat. They won't touch, but you will create a sensation of a stretch in your upper arms. Exhale and release your arms to the ground, walking your hands about a palm print back, tucking your toes, lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. In your first downward facing dog of the class, feel free to get out any wiggles. Bend into one knee and maybe the other. You could dip your hips from side to side. Any movements that are calling to you, this is your time to do them. Making your way into stillness, take an inhale and an open mouth exhale. And again, inhale, open mouth exhale. Inhale, look between your palms and slowly with intention, walk your feet to meet your hands. Grab your blocks and place them directly in front of your feet. Inhale, lift your torso halfway to parallel with the mat, placing your palms on top of your blocks, pushing your palms into them. If your knees need to bend here in order to get your hands flat on your blocks, then please bend them. This is your halfway position for the rest of class. This angle at which your legs are is what I would like you to try to maintain for the rest of class when we come to a forward fold. You can either use the blocks as a reminder, or you can place your hands on your shins, pushing your palms into your shins. Exhale and release your hands down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, place your palms together and draw them down to your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your palms back down to your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. This time, grabbing your left wrist with your right hand, pull your left hand up towards the ceiling and scoot your hips towards the left, bending towards the right. Half crescent moon stretch. Stretching into that side body. With each inhale, lengthen towards the right side of the room, bending into the shape. Noticing how you're feeling. Notice if there's any change from the seated cat-cows. Inhale up to center. Exhale, switch sides. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Inhale, pull your right arm up towards the ceiling, shifting your hips towards the right, bending towards the left. Remembering to breathe. Inhale up to center. Exhale, release your palms down to your heart. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, bending at the hips, drawing your palms to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place your palms flat on the mat and step back to plank position. In this plank position, root your palms into the mat, having shoulders over wrists and ankles over toes. Your back should be in more of a cat position than a cow position. Slowly and with control, either bend to your knees or lower your entire torso evenly and with control to the mat. Inhale, place your palms underneath your shoulders. Press the tops of your feet into the mat, so much so that you lift your kneecaps off the ground. Inhale, press your palms into the mat, lift your head, neck, and shoulders off of the mat for cobra. Exhale and release. Inhale, press up to cobra. Exhale and release. Inhale, press your feet into the mat, lifting your kneecaps. This time, bring your palms with you as you lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Exhale and release. Inhale, press your palms into the mat, lifting higher with your head, neck, and chest this time. High cobra. Exhale and release. Lie one cheek to the mat. Either direction is up to you. Inhale and switch cheeks. Lay the opposite cheek in the opposite direction on your mat. Inhale, press up into plank position, either by way of your knees or straight up into plank. Send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, drop your knees to the mat. Stack wrists over, shoulders over wrists, and hips over knees. You can either tuck your toes or lay your feet flat. The choice is yours. Inhale, reach your right arm forward and your left leg behind you to parallel with the mat. Feel as though there is a string pulling your right arm forward and your left leg back, creating an equal and opposite polarization in your body. Exhale and release. Inhale, lift your left arm out in front of you. Extend your right leg behind you, creating that same polarization inside your body. Exhale and release. Inhale, lift your right arm and your left leg, creating that polarization. This time, on an inhale, windmill your arm behind you while bending your right knee, capturing the outside of your left foot with your right hand. Kick your right kick your left foot into your right hand. The more you kick and the more you pull, the more you create an equal and opposite pull, the more stable you will become. For balance, either looks slightly forward or directly in front of you at a point that is not moving. This is called a drishti, a point that will help you focus and help you maintain balance. Exhale and release. Inhale, lift your left arm up in front of you and your right leg behind you, creating that same polarization. On an inhale, windmill your left arm behind you, bend your right knee and capture the outside of your right leg with your left hand. Kick your foot into your hand and pull your foot with your hand, creating that same polarization here. Find your drishti. The more you kick and the more you pull, the more equal that the position becomes, the more stable you become. Inhale and release. Spread your knees to mat width distance apart. Big toes to touch. Sit back on your heels and extend your arms out in front of you. Placing your elbows into the mat, bringing your palms to touch up over your head on the back of your neck. For the upper arm stretch once again. A variation of child's pose. Inhale and release your hands to the mat. Scoot them about 1 or 2 palm prints in front of you. Lift up and tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. This is where I leave you. This is where my sequence would continue with my teammates. I thank you guys for being a part of this and listening and practicing with me. Next week, after I am done and we get our official certificates on Sunday, I will be teaching full 60-minute vinyasa flows on here, so look for those on my channel, and you won't have the same repeat over and over and over again. I will be doing a lot more different practices, and I will be doing some prenatal ones as well. So, I thank you guys, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye.